Why do so many people find negotiating uncomfortable and difficult? I have a theory. I believe the reason why most people get uncomfortable negotiating is because of the word no. They don't like to say the word no, and they don't like to hear the word no. And in order to avoid hearing and saying no, people avoid negotiating. Well, I have good news for you. You don't need to say the word no in a negotiation. As a matter of fact, avoid using the word no at all costs in a negotiation. What happens when people hear no? They tend to become very win-lose, positional oriented. We just don't like to hear the word no. And it hampers our willingness to think out of the box and problem solve. Also, when you say no in a negotiation, you're in some ways ending the negotiation, and there can be a lot more room for give and take. But on the other hand, often you can't say the word yes in a negotiation. Sometimes what they're asking for isn't reasonable, and it isn't something you should say yes to. So if you can't say no in a negotiation and you can't say yes, what do you say? You actually say the negotiated yes, and it sounds like this: yes if. Well, I can't get it to you by Friday, but I would be able to get it to you by next Tuesday if you go ahead and create the graphs. So I'm not giving in to what you want, but I am also not saying no. I'm saying I can meet you halfway in exchange for a concession. Something very beautiful often happens in a negotiation when you use the words yes if. You turn a positional win-lose negotiation into a problem-solving session. There's something very satisfying and even logical about being willing to give a concession in exchange for a trade. I gave you this, but I also received that. I gave that, but then also you're willing to do this. Negotiating isn't negotiating unless there's concessions and offers and counteroffers, or else it's just ultimatums. The key is that when you make a concession, you link it to a trade. So the total value of what I gave away is real, but it isn't a free gift. And that way, you can end up with some extremely creative win-win offers and counteroffers that are very satisfying to both sides.